Hey guys, it's Leesh, and welcome to another episode of Car Confessions. Guys, how are you? I hope you are well. I had to go get my car. One of my lights in the back was out, so I had to go get that fixed, and had to get some gas. And so now I'm on my way home. Thank God. I actually found a place here in Inwood. If you know the Inwood area here in New York City, they had the gas station was on Broadway and 204th Street or 206th. The point of it is it's right over in that area, right next to PJ Liquors. If you know where PJ Liquors is, it's that gas station. $3.39 was the price. I get regular. I don't do all the other stuff, and I probably should. But listen, in these life and times, it's regular. Thank you and good night. But yeah. So I've seen other stations where it's like 340, 350. I think I saw one that said like 360 something, and I was like, what? Not your girl. But I have to admit, like I had the opportunity to get it a little bit cheaper at one point, but y'all have seen it. The gas prices have been going up, um, within days. Next day you turn around, there's, you know, gas prices have gone up, and it's like, well, so much for that. Um, and to be honest, I don't have a really large car. I'm trying to park my car here, you guys. I'm still having these issues with doing car confessions and driving from my new job because the reception when I'm driving in that area is pretty trash. So I have to do it when I'm closer to the house, which whatever. It gives me a second to kind of like regroup um, and talk to y'all. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so I've seen these gas prices going up and up and up, and I know you probably have too, especially if you drive. You completely understand where I'm coming from with this. But you know, what are we going to do, right? What are we going to do? I have, I realize that, as this whole tragedy, that's how I look at this whole tragedy that's going on between Iran and Israel and the United States is just, it's insane. Like, I really feel like we are dealing with insane folks at the lead just making decisions, and we are, well, personally, I'm not experiencing like the grunt of what these folks are experiencing over there in Iran and in Israel, or occupied Palestine rather, are experiencing. But you see all these images and you see all the stuff that's going on over there. It's just like, and this is all by way of the leaders, not the people. You know what I'm saying? So we're just kind of left in this weird position where it's like, okay, guys, listen, it's not us. Like we don't want this, right? But here we are, right? Uh, I have just made the decision, even though some days it's hard, where you're just like, God, give me strength. Like, what am I doing? But I continue to choose joy, even in the midst of all this. And I know folks are probably like, Alicia, wow, like you're beyond optimistic. But no, I have my moments. Y'all have seen me where I'm like losing it and like over it. Um, but I'm choosing joy because my thing is I am not going to allow all these things that are happening in the world take down my energy, my good energy, and lower my vibration because of the insanity that they want to cause, right? And when I think about this, I think about like when you have certain family situations that just keep going happening over and over and over again, right? And it's like no one has learned the lesson from the family situation. And there's always drama, right, between certain people, and other folks get involved. I'm seeing this situation as that because it's been ongoing for forever. We've put our nose in other folks' business that are let's say like they're like our aunts and uncles or something, and we're like siding with them, and meanwhile this shit has nothing to do with us, but because we feel like we have to, because of whatever reasons, here we are in this drama that we keep reliving over and over again. And like I said, it literally should not even be us, putting our nose in the business in the first place. And the folks that have put their nose in the business, the people that are around them that might not really be directly affected or indirectly affected by whatever situations. And that's how I feel right now. That's literally how I feel. I feel like at some point something's going to happen pretty intense to the folks that are indirectly involved. And I saw something, and I've heard this actually. Some reports have come out that apparently there might be some strikes from Iran to California. Now, I don't know exactly where in California. I don't know the whole story. But this is what I'm saying. Like, we've put ourselves in a situation where it was none of our business, and now we're involved. So much so that we could be, California could possibly be attacked, right? Um, like, what is this? You know, like when you really just think, like it's just me just stepping outside of myself and the whole situation. Just like, what is this? Like, and not only what is this, why? Why? I mean, everyone can explain away the reasons why this, that, and the other, but it's just like, can we just live? You know, can we just live? Like, I'm being so serious right now. Like, why can't we just live on this earth, take care of each other, take care of the earth, and just thrive until, we're called to glory or whatever the hell you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm being so serious right now. I just don't understand why everything has to be so complicated and complex. Like, why do people have to create drama? You know what I'm saying? And create negative situations and then turn around and act like it's not even their fault. That's what really takes me out, right? Like the fact that we are sitting here witnessing people who will not admit, the United States and Israel, let's just keep it real, that they're at fault in this particular situation. And in most, let's be serious, in most situations, it's these two fools, like keeping it a thou wow. Like it's normally them wreaking havoc and then running back playing victim, like, oh, I don't know why these folks hate us so much or why they're attacking us. I mean, because for the longest we were told the reason why folks went, in what they call the Middle East, basically West Asia, North Africa, that's how I refer to that area. I don't refer to it as the Middle East. But when we were told that stuff about that region, oh, they don't like the fact that we have freedom, and they want to attack our freedom. And even when I heard that, back in the day, I was like, what? Freedom? Freedom? Like, okay. And I think just being a black person that is conscious in America, that even that propaganda back then was bullshit. It was just like freedom. I mean, I guess. I mean, if y'all believe that, um, and yes, were there times where you felt patriotic? I'm talking about myself, feeling patriotic. Yes, there were times. I will say, like, well, let me backtrack, guys. Middle school for me. That's when the Iraq War and the Desert Storm, all that shit was happening, right? So of course, then I'm a kid. Like, we're at school, we're coloring these pages that they gave us, from a coloring book or whatever the hell, the Operation Desert Storm and whatever, and then we're coloring these pictures and then sending them to the troops, and preparing care packages and all these things, and thinking that we're helping our servicemen, which we were, to hopefully provide like some sense of comfort and let people know that they're thinking of them. But the overall propaganda around it, right? I'm talking about adults, kids, the whole kit and caboodle. We all fell for it. We all fell for it back then. And you think about those times, especially if you were around back then, you remember it was like, wow, like really reflecting on it, it's like, yo, those were some crazy times. but in a way that we didn't realize it was crazy because we were so like caught up in, drinking the Kool-Aid of it all and thinking that, we were patriotic and we were serving, these folks were serving our country, and protecting our freedoms from these evil, scary people from when, they called, quote unquote, the Middle East, right? And now, when you find out the truth as to why these folks were acting the way they were over in West Asia, North Africa, it's like, oh, we are the bullies. Got it. Okay, got it. And I think it's still hard for some folks to even grasp that we have been at the forefront of, basically terrorizing the majority of the world. Um, because we've been lied to for so long. How could we, America, the home of the brave, land of the free, home of the brave, how could we be out here causing so much havoc, right? Like, how? We're good, wholesome people, right? Good, we're American as apple pie and, all that bullshit that we were taught, It's wild when you really think about it. And for me, I think it's even more. Now, because I've really worked through all this for a long time. I've been deconstructing, all this and unlearning a lot of bullshit for years. And I'm still in the process, like I'm pretty sure you are as well, just deconstructing all this and just thinking about how you can get so caught up in something and not realize that you're caught up in it until you kind of like move away or you move yourself out of a situation like, oh, man, this is some bullshit. Like, what is this? This is basically like America, dare I say, is a cult because it's like, especially if you're falling for all this bullshit and the American dream and the patriotism around America and how hardcore that was for so long and still is to some folks, right? Um, I think my thing too is like now, it's one of those. It's like a yes and right. Yes, I had patriotism at one point in my time in my life, and I also knew the ridiculousness of America because I was black and I grew up in Indiana of all places, right? So racism is something that was, I grew up around it all my life. I grew up around this toxicity that many folks just were completely oblivious to. I've experienced it. I would say at the age of 6, that's when it was like, oh, I'm different. And not only am I different, it's different in a way that folks don't like me because I'm different in terms of my skin color. Um, First grade, I don't know if I told y'all this, but in first grade, I had someone come to me and ask, if I tasted like chocolate. They wanted to lick my skin to see if I tasted like chocolate. And I was like, what? No. And this is in first grade. That happened. I also had someone, obviously tell me to go back to Africa. I mean, that was kind of like the 80s uh like slogan for folks who were pissed at black people for whatever reason. And obviously it trickled down to their kids too. So I was told to go back to Africa, which I've never been to even to this day. I've never been to the continent of Africa. So I'm like, okay, what am I going there for? Never been there. Obviously we called the N word in first grade. That was when it first started. Um, the whole hair stuff. I mean, so it's always been in my life, right? It's always been at the forefront of me being like, oh, okay, I gotta, keep my eyes peeled even at the age of 6 because these people are dangerous. Other 6-year-olds. I mean, who would think? But here we are. It's also Indiana, so there's that too. You know, Mm. But yeah, I mean, it's just unbelievable to me that in 2026 we're still dealing with this crazy shit, right? And we're still dealing with people who are so power driven that they'll do anything to maintain that, right? I don't get it. But like I said before, I'm choosing joy, guys. I encourage you to do the same. It seems hard in many ways, especially if you're like watching the news or you've seen things on social media. It's hard, and listen. I'm right there with you because some days I'm just like, girl, why? You get drawn in. I completely understand. I completely understand. And at the same time, I find ways to bring joy into my life. Like I go out of my way to like watch funny stuff. Like I love watching comedies, um, things that are light, like nothing that's really trying to bring down my vibe. Because I mean, it's enough. It's enough of that just dealing with the day to day. Even like with this new job I have, I'm just like, God, there's nothing I'm tired of. I'm done with working. Like I really am, and I keep saying that, but it's like I've got to uh, figure this thing out because this whole here's another thing too. It's like working, that's one thing, right? That you have to deal with on a daily basis, all the stressors of that. And then living this life in America. And it's just like, where is the break in the midst of it all? You know? You feel like there is no break, you know? And but that's me making, conscious choices of like I have to remove myself from things. Sometimes I have to, delay a situation and not get myself so overwhelmed with all the things I feel like I have to do and get done and whatever. It's like, no, that can wait. You need to take care of yourself, Alicia. Take care of yourself, take care of yourself, take care of yourself. And I encourage you guys to do the same. Because like I said, this stuff is just, it gets more intense and more intense and more intense, and you just feel like, okay, how am I gonna move forward, right? At least that's how I was feeling for a while there, and it still happens. Like it's not like, I have conquered the feeling of overwhelm. I've not. I get better at it, at how to manage and navigate it. But I every day I have to remind myself, Alicia, we're choosing joy. We're choosing joy because this world and everything that's involved in terms of the negativity of it all, the hope is that it'll consume us, and I refuse to be consumed. I refuse. I refuse to be consumed in the midst of all this. I'm not sure if all this stuff is going to happen in California in terms of these drones being dropped from Iran on California. I pray that they don't do that, but if they do, who can fault them? Seriously, this country has the blood that's on this country's hands is just, it's unbelievable to just even think about it. Because even when you think about those girls in that school, it's been determined that that was America that did that. All those little kids, and that there were other, there were adults as well involved in that. But you think about all those little girls, and then their parents, like, they just sent them off to school. They just took them to school, thinking they would pick them up later. Like how you would normally, you drop your kids off and hope for the best, and hopefully they have a good day. That like what little kid stuff, right? Just hoping they have a good little day, enjoy their little friends, learn what they have to learn for their day. It's like the most innocent places. It seems that we are creating the negativity in. And I love working in schools. So y'all know, like, that's when I love kids. I love working in schools and taking care of kids and seeing them grow. Like it's beautiful. But to know that children or even yourself could be in harm's way in a school, like a school. Hell, the churches. I mean, like, and listen, I'm not religious at all. I don't go to church, but you would think these places would be a safe haven. And it's like, where is the safety in America? Where is the safety in any place at this point, right? It's really sad to think of, and at the same time, it's like I'm not gonna let this take me out. I'm not gonna let this bring me down. I'm going to choose joy. I'm going to just send good energy out and be kind to people. Like, I literally find myself going out of my way to be kind. Even sometimes when folks are being rude, because I'm like, you know what? I don't know what's going on with you. I'm still going to choose kindness. Now, you're not going to disrespect me. I'm going to let you know that, but in a kind way. But there's something going on with you. And I hope that you figure it out. Um, but I'm not gonna match your nasty. That's just not. Now I used to be like that back in the day, where it's like, oh, I'm matching this energy. Fuck this, blah blah, right? But it's like, no, for what? For what? I don't want to bring that negativity into my world. I'm pulling back my positive energy. Your energy can go stay with you. Wish you well, all the best. But I'm not doing that to myself. And, everyone's different in how they manage and navigate that. But for me, I just, no. There's too much going on, too much to work through that will require me, at least for me, in terms of processing negativity and then removing it out of my body and my space. No. So I stop it where it's at, you know? And like I said, hope for the best in more ways than one. We'll do our best, guys, to just stay safe and be kind. I can't stress that enough. Just be kind to people. It goes a long, long way. Even if people don't show it initially when you're doing it to them, it sparks something up there. It's like, oh, okay. She's not an asshole. Or maybe not. I don't know. But for me, it saves me in terms of my energy. And I would hope someone would be kind to me. Right? And just being kind for me, it just it just there's more, it's lighter energy wise. I acquire to have a lighter sense of being, uh, especially now more than ever, because this what's happening right now. I feel like a lot of it is being pushed on us to continue that hate and evilness, to be divisive. But slowly but surely, I think the way I'm feeling with this energy now in the world, I feel like folks are getting tired of that. It's a played out book. It's so played out. People are tired of that crazy shit. And if you're not tired, you should be, The same old. Arguing about the same shit. Like I said, takes us back to the whole thing with the family. I'm pretty sure this shit has been happening for years, right? They don't find resolve. But guess what? I'm removing myself from it. And I hope you guys figure it out. But I want to live my best life because I don't have time for your bullshit. I just don't. Fighting about the same shit that has been happening since God knows when. There seems to not be a resolution, right? Um, Apparently, from what I'm hearing, I don't know if this is still on the table, but I think Trump was saying that, at one point he was hoping that there would be a ceasefire. I think Iran's like, no, no. And that's another thing, too, is like when you poke a bear long enough, they're like, you know what? No, I am going to wreak havoc. And that's what's happening right now. And like I said, you can't blame them. And at the same time, I'm going to live my best life. We have to. We don't. Life is not promised, period, right? But if this time in life will teach you anything, it's like things aren't promised. Have a good time. Enjoy yourself. Just enjoy yourself. Do what you want to do. Do literally whatever you want to do, as long as it's not harming anybody, obviously. But it just bring joy into your life, however that shows out for you, or however you express that in your life. I can't talk. 'Cause I'm tired right now. I'm like exhausted here. But yeah, choose joy because, honey, the way things are going these days, it's not worth it to be in any other space but in a joyful space. And stay informed, obviously. But yeah, yeah, that's literally it. I don't know what you do for joy. Today, I'm gonna obviously go get my shower. Showers, like, I love taking a shower. Just cleanse the day off of me and get my life together. Find something good to eat. I'm gonna make some sauteed kale, which I'm really excited about. I love kale. And some sweet potatoes, and I gotta figure out something else to eat with that. But the point of it is, I'm gonna have a good meal, get my shower, watch something fun on TV, enjoy my family because my daughter's home from college, which has been great to see her, and just enjoy my wife and my kid. And yeah, that's that. And I hope you find something that brings you joy today, and just throughout your days. Seriously. All right, guys. I basically, gave you the menu for what I'm cooking tonight. But I'm gonna go upstairs to get that going and enjoy my family. Enjoy the people around you. If you don't have people around you, if you have pets, enjoy them. Enjoy whoever's around you. And if it's not anyone that's literally around you, enjoy yourself. Take care of yourself. Maybe take yourself out on a date. I don't know, right? But enjoy yourself. Enjoy the folks around you if you do have them around you. Your pets, whoever. Your plants, right? Whatever brings you joy. All right, guys. Like I always say, let's just keep on keeping on. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all next week. All right, bye.